Hello and good afternoon. This is video 934. I'm recording it from the safety of my room. um, I'm not sure what's going on today with me, but I am just fucked up. And I'm hoping if I make a video, it'll make me feel better. Usually it helps me out when I talk about things, but I'm on the verge of crying, just losing it. Can't quite put my finger on it, but I was inspired to come back and talk about. I had an experience yesterday where I met a friend of mine that I hadn't seen before I transitioned. It's been about 16 years. I used to play Warhammer 40K with him and a group of friends quite a bit. And when my daughter was born, we just stopped. I mean, I couldn't go, you know. I was the primary caregiver of my daughter when she was, all of her life, but my ex-wife didn't carry her in the carrier. She didn't take her anywhere. She didn't do anything with my daughter. So, my life, from that age on was pretty much take care of my daughter, And as a toddler, you're, just very demanding, as it should be. I'm not complaining about it. Just, you know, feeding, changing. Just a minute, baby. Mommy needs to make a video. It's my son. But just lately, I'm just so overwhelmed. I'm not sure if it's just collectively all of the anti-transgender stuff that's going on in the world. In the United States, I'm not sure if it's... But anyway, we were talking about my friend. I'm sorry I jumped track. But I had a group of friends, probably like the last group of friends I had before my daughter was born. And we met playing Warhammer 40K and fantasy a little bit, but it was like my wargaming friends. And just as I could no longer come play, it's just one of those things. We drifted apart. And that was 16 or so years ago. And so, it was when I saw them at the Warhammer store, the opportunity happened, and I was like, oh my gosh, hey, how are you? Da da da, what's new? And he's like, who the hell are you? He didn't recognize me. I guess as a credit to his short-term memory or HRT or something. But anyway, so I guess I just wanted to document that, something that might happen to you if you meet someone that you hadn't seen, not only before you transition, but you just hadn't seen in a long time, And from my perspective, it was like, I paused our relationship, and in reality, it's, I probably through circumstance ended the relationship. We really didn't have anything else in common. It was wargaming that brought us together. And anyway, just life happens. But it was just kind of an event, and I guess I got to figure out how to, what's the best way to introduce yourself to someone who doesn't know you because you transitioned, and what's the best way to work through that process of, oh yeah, I'm the guy you used to game with. So that's kind of that was what I wanted to come back here and talk about. But man, today has just been a weird day. Yesterday too. I want to do stuff. I think that's probably the overarching theme in my life right now is I want to do things that I can't do. I'm waiting. Just seems like I'm waiting on so much stuff. I'm waiting. Um, you know, I want to move. I don't like where I live anymore. I like the people, but I don't like Indiana. I don't like Kentucky anymore. I mean, I'm like, I'm, I'm ready to move on, and I can't. And I think I've been just dealing with that, and maybe a bit of just collected, like you feel like you're trapped. You can walk out the door, at any time. I mean, I could. My daughter could go live with my ex-wife. I could move, but that's not fair to Katie. It's not fair to my daughter. But it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. You know, 2 more years. 2 more years. So I think there's some frustration there, and I think there's some frustration, and there's just a lot of things in my life I'm waiting on right now. I applied for a job, and I'm waiting to hear back on that. I bought some clothes, and it takes 4 to 6 weeks to get to you, and they haven't shipped yet, and I'm sitting here going, it's been 4 weeks, you could, silly stuff kind of like that, but it just slowly wears on you, and it wears on you. It's been 6 weeks since my appointment with Dr. Plastic Surgeon for my breasts. My mammogram was a month ago. So yeah, I mean, I could call. I guess maybe there's some things I can do. I can call and say, hey, I'm just kind of curious, did you need anything? Where am I in the queue? I'm just trying to get some ideas. And I had a bit of frustration too with my family, my mom, who has Alzheimer's and forgetting things, and I can't really get mad at her for forgetting things, but she'll throw out ideas, when she's cognizant. Well, I'll come visit you. I want to come see you. And I'm like, oh, that'll be great, and nothing happens. Yeah, so kind of a lot of poo-poo caca stuff, I guess. It's just kind of wearing me down. Like I said, just a lot of waiting. I'm tired of walking across my room here and stepping on stuff. I pick up my floor, I keep it clean, and like within a day or two, because the cats knock. If you put anything on the counter here on my desktop, the cats are gonna knock it off. I've got another table up here. You can't see it, but I've got a folding table this is on, and then another folding table up top. They're two. It's what I used to play Warhammer on, these two tables. And the cats knock shit off. And so my room is always a minefield. And I clean it up, and then it's a minefield again. And the whole house is like that. I guess I'm just frustrated. I'm frustrated. There's a lot of frustration here. There's a lot of frustration going on in the house right now. I'm tired of cleaning. I'm tired of cooking. And I guess overall, I've just lost a lot of passion. I think that's something else that's going on. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to cook. I don't want to clean. I don't want to, stuff I used to do that I got excited about. It's like I've lost my personality. I've lost who I was. And I don't know if it's depression. I just don't know. But I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But I'm trying to stay afloat. Is this a midlife crisis? I thought my midlife crises were behind me. Oh dear, Gussie. But anyway, I'm not well today. Not well. Luckily, I'm counting my blessings. A couple days from now, I do have an appointment with the therapist. I can talk to her and I guess get my money's worth. For months and months and months, it was like, oh, everything's fine, nothing's wrong. And so, anyway, I think I've had my dump here, but I just don't, like I said, I don't understand. I don't understand. I know I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated at waiting. Maybe I'm just frustrated at my life being on hold. Whether it be job stuff, house stuff, work stuff, everything's on hold. But I kid you not, I mean, there's nothing I want, not to be materialistic, but there's nothing I want. There's nothing, not a toy, not a, they say happiness, you can't buy happiness. Well, that's true. You can rent it, I think. But, I mean, other than having free time, I can't think of anything. So, my plan is to push through it, do some housework. Maybe that'll help me out. Pick up the stuff. Hi. I bought these tubs. I don't know if you can see them on the back. There's a tub up there, and there's a tub over there. These plastic tubs. And the idea was I would sort them. I would that's what I did over there. All my helicopter stuff is in one. I believe that's Magic the Gathering, that tub there. So I bought these things to get organized. But what I ended up doing, I just took one day, went over my desk, and everything that was on my desk I put into the tub. I haven't needed it, and I guess that's kind of my life at the moment. I don't want anything. I don't need anything. I'm just killing time. Some days we live, other days we endure. I think I'm just in an endure. But anyway, that's one transit middle age. President Biden came out with a number of things this week that was pro-transgender, and I commented, and I had 3 people try to insult me, and I had a real good response. I thanked them for their, interest in me, and I wish them well. I think I mentioned that in my last video. But it just wears on you. It wears on you that people intentionally try to mess up your day, Just a minute, baby. He's been very patient. I probably need to shut this off. But yeah, I think that's kind of the weird thing. I talked about sadism, that people, Republicans, to me, trying to make other people's lives miserable. They're deriving pleasure at the suffering of others. That is sadism. And the 3 people that tried to, rub my face and shit, they enjoyed it. I wasn't going to give them the satisfaction of doing it, but, what a sad state of affairs if you get your happiness by someone else's suffering. Anyway, on that note, wish you the best of luck. I'm going to get off my ass.